For my final research project on non-Western art, I will be discussing Evening Snow on a Floss Shaper, which according to multiple experts is believed to be one of the greatest Japanese woodblock paintings of all time. Evening Snow is the most famous of the series 8 Views of the Parlor, produced sometime in the 1760s by Suzuki Harunobu. The print is currently being displayed at the Art Institute of Chicago as we speak. Evening Snow and the rest of the 8 Views of the Parlor were created by Harunobu, who according to experts is arguably the most famous and best woodblock artist in Japanese history. Now for a little history lesson. Harunobu was born in Edo, which is now modern-day Tokyo, in 1725 and died in 1770 in Edo. But sometime around the 1760s before Harunobu's death, and after he had graduated from the Torii school, he created the 8 Views of the Parlor, which led to the creation of some of Harunobu's most famous woodblock pieces, which includes Evening Snow. Tons of experts tend to agree that Evening Snow, along with the rest of the 8 Views of the Parlor, are some of the best woodblock pieces in the ukiyo-e era. Now let's say that some random person was going into the Art Institute of Chicago and was looking at this piece. They would notice right off the bat that Evening Snow had the subject of 2 beautiful women working with some type of white cloth, with one woman doing most of the chores and the other one sitting and observing the woman who is doing all the chores while also helping her out a little bit with her chores. Now, Evening Snow was created in a ukiyo-e format. The definition of ukiyo-e means picture of the floating world, which usually refers to the transient everyday life. It provided a major source of imagery in Japanese art from the 17th to the 19th centuries, particularly in the work of famous printmakers such as Hiroshige, Hokusai, and Utamaru. With Evening Snow, the piece is actually a giant viscular pun based on the well-known themes of the Xiao and Xiang rivers, which were originally popular in China but became very popular in Japan. The piece depicts the silk floss that the women are working with as snow and the floss shaper as the mountain, rather than just showing snow-covered hills. The Karazuki embossing technique also outlines the shape of the floss silk, emphasizing its softness. Evening Snow is supposed to symbolize the feeling of softness in the human soul of the Xiao and Xiang rivers, and also the overall value of teamwork between 2 co-workers. Harunobu was born during the ukiyo-e period, which roughly went from the year 1620 to the year 1912. Ukiyo-e pieces were very important in Japan because it came at a time when Buddhism was growing rapidly in Japan in both the 16th and 1700s. In fact, during the Tokugawa period, which went from 1600 to 1868 in Japan, the word ukiyo-e came to describe a type of lifestyle of meaningless pleasure-seeking and inumi that typified life for many people in the cities, particularly Edo, Kyoto, and Osaka. The participants in ukiyo-e paintings were either samurais, kabuki theater actors, geishas, and sumo wrestlers. They were meant for entertainment and intellectual discussions in brothels, kashitukis, or tea houses, and kabuki theaters, which is a common tradition for Buddhists to perform in their daily lives. So overall, I hope you guys were able to enjoy the piece of art that I chose to talk about, and hopefully you learned about the meaning of this piece, the history behind it, what influenced its creation, and the impact that it had during the ukiyo-e era. In fact, the reason why I chose to do my final project on this piece was because I was very intrigued by how simple and unique it was in delivering the overall meaning in its own way.